Hello students and welcome to today's daily quiz presented to you by BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. So without further ado, let us start with the questions. The first question is, consider the following statements about the Prithvi II missile. It is a short-range ballistic missile. It is developed in collaboration with Russia. It has the ability to carry nuclear warheads. So why have we taken this question is because on 10th January, there was a successful training launch of this Prithvi II missile off the Odisha coast. Now, here it clearly states that Prithvi missile is a short range ballistic missile and that Prithvi II missile is an integral part of India's nuclear deterrence. So, this is a correct statement. This is also a correct statement. What about this one? This is an incorrect statement because Prithvi missile is an indigenously developed missile by DRDO under the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program. So this is an incorrect statement, and in fact the missile that we have developed in collaboration with Russia is the BrahMos missile. So the correct answer over here is C, that is statements 1 and 3. Let us now move on to our next question. Which of the following statements are correct? India lies in the alpine belt of earthquakes. The seismic zonation of India is given by the Geological Survey of India. The National Center for Seismology is the nodal agency for monitoring earthquake activities in the country. So the reason why we have taken this question is because the Union Minister of Earth Sciences, Mr. Jitendra Singh, during the India-UK workshop of geosciences in New Delhi declared that India will be setting up microseismic observatories at Joshimath. Now we know that what is happening in Joshimath. There is a problem of land subsidence. So how will these microseismic observatories help? So it is stated here that when you have at least 3 stations in an area, you can observe the earthquakes of 5 magnitude on the Richter scale. Now, as we keep on increasing the number of these laboratories, it will help us in assessing the earthquakes which are even of a minor category compared to 5 Richter scale, or currently what we are able to measure, that is 3.5 magnitude earthquakes. So why is it necessary to assess such smaller earthquakes? Because while the bigger magnitude earthquakes, they have a huge impact on life and property, even the smaller earthquakes can cause problems like land subsidence, which is happening currently in Joshimath. Here also is a map of the various earthquake zones of India. India is divided into 4 earthquake zones ranging from zone 5, which is the zone that is most susceptible to earthquakes, to zone 2, that is the least susceptible area. So we do not have any zone 1. Please note that. Now this classification of India in various seismic zonations is actually done by the Bureau of Indian Standards. Now this answer is quite counterintuitive. Usually a person will think that Geological Survey of India is the correct answer. However, it is actually done by the Bureau of Indian Standards. So please note that. So this is a wrong statement, and based on that we'll be eliminating option B and C. Statement 1 is correct. India does lie in the alpine belt of earthquakes. There are 2 major belts of earthquake. One is the Circum-Pacific belt and the second one is the alpine belt. Alpine belt stretches throughout the Europe and even the Himalayan region. So this is a correct statement. This is also a correct statement. The National Center of Seismology, which comes under the Ministry of Earth Sciences, is the nodal agency for monitoring any kind of earthquake activities within the country. So the correct answer here is D. Now the next question. Which of the statements are correct? Montreal Protocol aimed at reducing the use of CFCs, that is chlorofluorocarbons. The Kyoto Protocol aimed at reducing the release of greenhouse gases. The Kigali Protocol aimed at reducing the use of persistent organic pollutants. So what is the correct answer? We have taken this question because on 10th January there was a report by UN backed scientific assessment panel to Montreal Protocol, which gives its report every 4 years on the ozone depletion. So, according to this report, the ozone hole is filling up now, and by the year 2066, it will come back to the original levels of 1980. So, this is a very good news for the world community. Montreal Protocol has now emerged as one of the most successful international treaties with regards to this. So this is a correct statement. Yes, Montreal Protocol is aimed at reducing the use of CFCs in order to curb the menace of ozone depletion. This is also a correct statement. I'm pretty sure most of you must be aware of it, that Kyoto Protocol was aimed to reduce the release of the greenhouse gases in order to curb global warming. Now, can you tell in the comments what were the years when Montreal Protocol and Kyoto Protocol were signed? Now, what about the third statement? This is a wrong statement because Kigali Protocol, more commonly known as the Kigali Amendment to Montreal Protocol, is actually related to ozone depletion. It was signed in the year 2016 to reduce the use of hydrofluorocarbons and not the persistent organic pollutants. For this, for the POPs, we have a separate convention known as the Stockholm Convention, which is a global multilateral treaty aimed at the reduction or the elimination of production and use of these persistent organic pollutants which have an adverse impact on human health. So, the correct answer over here is A. Now we move on to our fourth question. Which of the following are measured under the Air Quality Index of India? We have carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, PM 2.5, ozone, lead, and ammonia. Now, we have taken this question because recently a report was published by the Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air, which said that even after 4 years of NCAP, that is National Clean Air Program, which was India's first policy on curbing air pollution, covering 132 of India's most polluted or the non attainment cities. Even after 4 years, it has been found that there has been no change in the air quality in most of these cities that were covered under this program. The NCAP had the target to bring up to 20 to 30% reduction in pollution levels, specifically with regards to PM 2.5 and PM 10 by the year 2024, keeping 2017 levels at the base. So this is a disturbing news when it comes to air pollution related problems in India. Now talking about AQI, AQI measures 8 pollutants, that is PM10, PM 2.5, NO2, ozone, carbon monoxide, SO2, ammonia, and lead. So it is not measuring CO2. Now again, intuitively here people will think that CO2 is included over here, but that is not the case. So what is the correct answer over here? 1 is incorrect. We do measure sulfur dioxide, particulate matter, ozone, lead, and ammonia. So the correct answer here is B. Now we move on to our previous year question that was asked in the year 2018, and it is related to international relations. The question is, what are the consequences of a country becoming a member of the nuclear suppliers group? It will have access to the latest and most efficient nuclear technologies. It automatically becomes a member of the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, also known as NPT. So we have to choose the correct statements. Now, NSG or the Nuclear Suppliers Group is a multilateral export control regime group which includes a group of nuclear supplier countries, and the aim of NSG is to prevent nuclear proliferation by controlling the export of the materials, the equipments, and the technologies that can be used for manufacturing of the nuclear weapons. Now, NPT is a completely different treaty separate from the NSG. This treaty, just like NSG, is also aimed at reducing nuclear proliferation. However, India finds it to be a discriminatory treaty because it divides the world into the nuclear states and the non nuclear states. And it prohibits the nations who don't have the nuclear weapons from acquiring them, and the nuclear states from helping the other states in acquiring them. So they are not exactly placing any control over the nuclear states, and that is why India has declined to sign this treaty. So this is a wrong statement. Being a member of NSG does not automatically makes you a member of NPT, and the correct answer here is 1. Now we come to the fact of the day. The fact of the day is related to India's four-pronged energy security strategy. Why have we taken this? Because recently the Union Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas emphasized upon the fact that how India's four-pronged strategy has been able to make India an energy secure country despite the international scenarios. So what are the four prongs of this strategy? We have diversification of energy supplies, increasing India's exploration and production footprint. So, this is with regards to our energy imports. That is, we are trying to diversify the countries from where we are importing energy resources. We are also increasing the amount of energy resources that we produce within the country itself. We are also using alternate energy sources and meeting energy transition through gas-based economy, green hydrogen, and the EVs. So these are the four prongs of our energy strategy. Under the first prong, Sri Hardeep Singh Puri said that we have added over the past 15 years new suppliers like Colombia, like Russia, Libya, Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, and so on. In fact, for the past 2 months, Russia has become the biggest supplier to India when it comes to petroleum products. Even with regards to diesel, the diesel prices in India rose only by 3%. Even when globally, due to the energy crisis created by the Ukraine war, the prices went up by double digits in countries like USA, Canada, even European states like Spain and UK. India is also constantly increasing the amount of area that is under exploration when it comes to our domestic production of energy resources. He also talked about ethanol blending. What happens here? That ethanol is blended with petrol, and this combination is instead used to run the vehicles. So this is a cleaner fuel. And when it comes to India, our ethanol blending in petrol, which was just 1.53% in 2013-14, it increased to 10.17% by the year 2022. We are also aiming to achieve 20% ethanol blending by the year 2030. And for this, the government is setting up more and more ethanol refineries in Panipat, Bhatinda, Bargarh, Numaligarh, and Devnagari. Now, apart from that, we are also exploring other sources of energy like the compressed biogas, CBG. So, there is a separate scheme called the Satat scheme, which has been started by the government to encourage people to develop their compressed biogas plants, and the procurement price under this scheme has been increased from 46 rupees per kg to 54 rupees per kg in order to make it a more lucrative venture. Even the biomanure that will be produced during the process of production of compressed biogas, there are many steps that are being taken by the government to ensure that this is bundled with fertilizers like urea so that the producers get double benefit of higher prices through the sale of CBG plus gains through the sale of biomanure. Apart from that, a very big initiative has been taken by India last week, that is the National Green Hydrogen Mission, to develop India as a nodal place for production of green hydrogen by developing a production capacity of at least 5 million metric tons per annum. Under this mission, there is also a public private partnership framework for research and development called the Strategic Hydrogen Innovation Program to encourage even the private members to develop technologies in order to get the green hydrogen in a more lucrative manner. So, with this, we come to an end of today's daily quiz. I hope you were able to understand all the things that were discussed over here. So, kindly like, share, and subscribe to our channel to get your daily dose of knowledge. So, thank you very much and have a very good day.